the woman suddenly sliced open her own abdomen and took out the golden dragon hatchling she had carried for 10 years. Without hesitation, she lit the stove, heated the oil, and cooked it into a fragrant bowl of dragon meat fried rice. She was ruthless for a reason. In her past life, she had exhausted every drop of her essence and blood to nurture the dragon for a full 10 years. Because of this, the hatchling was able to take its golden dragon form the moment it was born. Overjoyed, she had reached out to embrace her child, but the hatchling suddenly pushed her away and threw itself into the arms of a maidservant, calling the maid its true mother. Before the woman could react, the maid transformed into her exact likeness. Then, using dark magic, she turned the woman into a giant black fish. She cruelly extracted the woman's mermaid pearl and crushed it in her hand. Finally, she summoned a bolt of heavenly lightning that shattered the woman's soul into nothingness. But when the woman opened her eyes again, she had been reborn. To the day before the dragon's birth, the maid respectfully brought her a bowl of prenatal medicine, recalling the betrayal from her past life. She suddenly remembered. Every time she drank this medicine, the hatchling inside her would fall into a deep sleep. Determined not to repeat her fate, she discreetly plucked a single scale from the maid's body as she accepted the crystal cup. Then, she calmly dismissed the maid. But unexpectedly, the maid spoke up with a cold smile. His Majesty has given orders. The golden dragon hatchling is about to be born. The queen must be carefully protected. Nothing can go wrong. At that moment, the woman realized that this medicine was far from ordinary. Under the maid's watchful gaze, she pretended to drink it. Then, as soon as the maid left, she immediately spat it back out. Sure enough, the very next moment, the hatchling inside her stirred. She quickly took out a bronze mirror. Peering inside, she saw the dragon moving and finally felt at ease. With the mirror put away, she was convinced. This time, the hatchling would never mistake its mother again. Feeling reassured, she took out the scale she had stolen from the maid. She wanted to confirm whether the maid was truly a mermaid. But to her shock, the moment the scale touched water in the teacup, it instantly glowed with 7 brilliant colors. Its radiance was even more dazzling than her own. The woman was utterly horrified. She rushed to find her husband for help, but just as she reached the door of his chamber, she suddenly heard the maid's voice inside. Her heart sank, activating her clairvoyant vision. She saw a scene that made her blood run cold. Her husband had long since betrayed her, and from their conversation, she learned the terrible truth. The moment she gave birth to the golden dragon, her husband planned to cast her aside. Furious, the woman kicked the door open